In the sunny cities of 1970s America, where trust still lived and hitchhiking was normal, a storm was quietly brewing. He didn't hide in shadows. He didn't wear a mask. He wore a smile. He blended in. And for years, no one saw it coming. More than 30 victims, 7 states, 4 years of horror. This is the story of Ted Bundy, one of the most terrifying serial killers in American history. Welcome back to Crime, where true crime meets deep investigation. If you're new here, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and grab a seat. Because today, we're diving into one of the darkest chapters of modern crime. Let's rewind to 1974. Seattle, Washington, January 4th. It started with Karen Sparks, an 18-year-old student living near the University of Washington. She was beaten with a metal rod in her own apartment, assaulted so violently that she suffered permanent brain damage. But she survived. 3 weeks later, Linda and Healy, another University of Washington student, went missing. Bloodstains on her pillow, her nightgown folded, her belongings untouched. But no Linda. She was never seen alive again. That spring, more women vanished. Donna Manson, Susan Rancourt, Roberta Parks, Brenda Ball. All college students. All young. All brunette. All parted their hair in the middle. The connection? A man asking for help. Sometimes on crutches. Sometimes with his arm in a sling. Sometimes struggling to carry books or load a sailboat. He called himself Ted. Then came Lake Sammamish, July 14, 1974. 2 women, Janice Ott and Denise Naslund, disappeared in broad daylight. Witnesses reported a man in a tan Volkswagen Beetle, charming, polite, asking for help. Dozens of people saw him. A name, a description, a car. Police had their first real lead. And still, the killings continued. By fall of 1974, young women started disappearing from Utah and Colorado. This wasn't random anymore. It was spreading. In Utah, 18-year-old Carol Duranch was approached by a man claiming to be a police officer. He said her car had been broken into. She followed him to his car. Inside, handcuffs, a gun. The doors locked. She fought. She escaped, and she lived to tell her story. That story helped lead police to a name, Theodore Robert Bundy. But they had no hard proof, no bodies, no witnesses, no forensics, not yet. Meanwhile, in Colorado, more victims. Julie Cunningham, Denise Oliverson, Melanie Cooley, all gone without a trace. In 1975, Bundy was finally arrested after a traffic stop in Utah. Inside his car, a ski mask, handcuffs, a crowbar, and an ice pick. He was charged with attempted kidnapping in the Duranch case and sentenced to jail. But Bundy wasn't done. He escaped, twice. June 1977. During a court hearing in Aspen, Colorado, Bundy asked to use the law library and jumped out a second-story window. He was on the run for 6 days. He was caught, locked up, but by December, he escaped again. Sawing a hole in the ceiling of his cell, losing over 30 pounds to fit through, and crawling into the jailer's apartment. He walked out the front door. A nationwide manhunt began. He vanished. Florida, January 1978. Bundy surfaced in Tallahassee, living under the alias Chris Hagen. On the night of January 15th, he entered the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University. What followed was a rampage. In just 15 minutes, he brutally attacked 4 women. Margaret Bowman and Lisa Levy were murdered. 2 others were severely injured. Bundy left behind one crucial piece of evidence: bite marks on Lisa Levy's body. Days later, he abducted and murdered Kimberly Leach, a 12-year-old girl from Lake City, Florida. That was his final known victim. February 15, 1978. A Pensacola police officer pulled over a suspicious car. The driver? Ted Bundy. His reign of terror was finally over. The trials were unlike anything America had ever seen. Bundy, a former law student, chose to represent himself. He smiled for cameras. He cross-examined witnesses. He turned his murder trials into a performance. The evidence was overwhelming. Eyewitnesses, fingerprints, hair samples, bite mark analysis, and most chilling, Bundy's own behavior. He was convicted and sentenced to death. But the story didn't end there. For the next decade, Bundy delayed his execution by confessing, piece by piece, to murders no one even knew about. He claimed over 30 victims. Investigators believe it was more. Some think he started killing as early as 1969. Others say even earlier. He hid trophies, revisited dump sites, spoke of the entity, the thing inside him he couldn't control. He murdered women across Washington, Oregon, Utah, Idaho, Colorado, and Florida. He had no remorse, no guilt, only calculation. On January 24, 1989, Ted Bundy was executed in the electric chair at Florida State Prison. Crowds gathered outside, cheering, holding signs. A monster had finally been silenced. But the legacy of Ted Bundy still echoes. He's been the subject of books, films, documentaries, podcasts, and endless theories. He forced law enforcement to rethink profiling. He exposed the flaws in how America handled missing persons. He showed that evil can be charming, even likable, on the outside. And worst of all, he proved how easy it was to get away with murder when nobody suspects you. He didn't look like a killer. He didn't act like a predator. And that's exactly what made him so dangerous. So what drove Ted Bundy? Was he born a killer or shaped into one? And how many lives did he truly take? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We read every one. If you found this story haunting, informative, or eye-opening, give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another deep dive into true crime history. This is Crime Where the Past Speaks, and we listen. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and always stay in the light.